In my opinion, the best way to run a Catholic high school basketball program, in my opinion, and according to what I was socialized into, is to have a freshman team, a junior varsity team, a varsity A team, and if possible, a varsity B team. But let's just work with freshman, junior varsity, and varsity. The three teams should operate as a continuum of development. What I mean is that freshman year should be spent developing the players' fundamentals, dribbling, passing, shooting, the ability to run simple basketball drills, layup line, three-man weave, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, these type of things that get the individual basketball player a skill set, a sort of basketball coordination, and a familiarization with how to move on the court and some understanding of spacing. This should be continued and advanced as the player goes from the freshman team to the JV team, going from freshman to sophomore year. If he progresses and he makes the next team, those skill sets should be continued, repeated, and then advanced, adding on to it other skill sets. Dribbling while being able to see the court with your head up, being able to further develop what I call ambidextrousness, the ability to use your dominant hand or your off dominant hand or your weaker hand or your less dominant hand as well as your dominant hand, as well as fine tuning and advancing the skill sets that you have in your dominant hand. This should be a fluid kind of transition from freshman to JV and then from JV to varsity, where you'll be taking the best of those players, the players who have been able to achieve the prerequisite skill sets that you require, the prerequisite esprit de corps. How well do they fit into your team system socially as well as athletically, academically? How do they fit together with their teammates? Do they support each other? You, as the coach and the developer of the system, you are responsible. You're the leader. You're responsible for developing the style of play, the intensity of the practices, you're responsible for that, and the intensity that they bring to the games in terms of preparation and being ready to play. These things are important. So when you get to the varsity level, the varsity coach is not concerned about whether you can use your left hand, whether you can make a layup, whether you can make an open shot, whether you understand the machinations of the pick and roll, one of the most basic offensive sets, but it is also one of the most basic sets you need to understand as a individual defender and as a team defender. What is the team concept? How are you going to play people involved in the pick and roll? How are you going to play the one who rolls as opposed to the one who's using the screen, right? So uh, offensive mindsets, defensive mindsets. When I played at Palm Memorial Academy, we had a defensive mindset that was you're not going to let a player go baseline. You always force them to the middle. You're not going to, we would try as a team to hold a team to 11 points per quarter, figuring, and the philosophy was offensively, we should be able to score more than 11 points in a quarter. But that was the goal, 44 points for the whole game, right? So that was our mindset. Uh, when I got to college, college was a bit more advanced. Uh, we had a syllabus for each practice. Each practice was scheduled, and the schedule was printed on the syllabus to the minute, right? And we had certain philosophies. When I got to college, they forced they forced toward the baseline, right? Which was something that I had to get mentally accustomed to. Uh, We emphasize getting back on defense. We emphasize calling out who your man is, always staying engaged with what was going on in the game. Your responsibility as a teammate on the bench was to be observant, to be supportive, but to be observant as to what your role is and where you belong in terms of spacing and positioning, and also your responsibility to know the plays. Um, so these types of things, as well as personal development, you're developing young human beings and socializing them, bringing them into society with a sense of cooperation, integrity, and the ability to, if this is what you want to do, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to put in the work if you want to get better, if you want to be successful, if you want to be a part of what we're calling a team. Oh, shit. Did all that.